At this point, we all know the meme. Millennials' historically low homeownership could be easily solved with just a few simple lifestyle adjustments. Less avocado toast, fewer lattes, and if those fail, just borrow money from your parents. That normal thing that everyone can do. But the generation already mostly locked out of the American ideal of homeownership now needs to deal with a new challenge. Flying under the radar for years and far bigger than breakfast choices. An unprecedented buy-up of real estate by a shadowy network of investment funds. Before the pandemic reshuffled the housing market, there were already hundreds of thousands of homes worth tens of billions of dollars in the hands not of homeowners or even local landlords, but of faceless, faraway financial sector titans. In the complex worlds of real estate and Wall Street, it's easy to get lost in the weeds of mind-melting terms like mortgage-backed securities, LLCs, REOs, and real estate investment trusts. So let's keep it simple. The basic story of Wall Street's real estate buy-up began around 2011. After the Great Recession decimated home prices and foreclosed on millions, many firms saw opportunity in newly cheap and available real estate, and the door was at least partly open to them by federal housing regulators desperate to stabilize the housing market. This led to an unprecedented shifting of homeownership to investment firms. Some investors bragged that in the early 2010s, their firms were spending tens of millions of dollars a week on homes. By the time COVID hit, some firms owned as many as 1 out of every 5 homes in some metro areas. For renters, this meant enduring an unusually harsh and greedy series of rule changes and property neglect, even by the standards of landlords, incentivized by the financial sector's focus on quick, short-term gain and shareholder profit. And for prospective homebuyers, it meant something even more alarming: a bubble. Because as COVID wore on and the Federal Reserve kept interest rates near zero, mortgage rates hit historic lows, ostensibly opening the door to homeownership to many who never foresaw it. But now, for the first time, those normal families had to compete for single-family homes with firms armed with a bottomless pit of cash. And the resulting bidding wars have made housing prices skyrocket, ringing alarm bells for many observers. Now, let's zoom out real quick, because all of this isn't unique to housing. This year, we've learned that the largest owner of private farmland in the US is actually Bill Gates. Yup, Bill Gates owns so much farmland that the next time you eat McDonald's fries, you may well be eating Gates-produced potatoes. And the reason for Gates' Green Acres foray is the same as Wall Street's real estate gambit: a combination of we can, easy money, and a self-perpetuating system whereby initial investment by the richest only puts ownership further out of reach for average people, creating pressure for someone, anyone, to buy up the empty space before crisis hits. And if all that sounds familiar, Wall Street gambling on housing, average people's savings disappearing, and federal regulators enabling the whole process, you're not alone. As those housing prices soared during 2020, an extreme rarity for a recession, and show no signs of stopping in 2021, one word has floated to the top of many analysts' minds: crash.